if there's ever a problem and, waiting on sound is like, oh my God, the world's about to come to an end, but camera is, that's like the crown prince. About lighting, because lighting is only to make sure camera looks good. So, some sound people can carry a chip on their shoulder. For me personally, I just knew I had to do a job. There is a funny vibe when it comes to sound.
Today I'm here with Nick Slim Clay. He's a sound engineer and sound producer. He's worked on 13 credits in the business, and today he's interviewing with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. So what made you want to get into film? What was your passion about it?
I guess that I wanted to go back to school around 2012, and I thought about it for a year. I guess I want to say 2011. And being a DJ and a music producer, I've always wanted to be a part of something that was creative. That's just a part of my being. I like creating stuff, especially music. So I thought film might be a wise choice for me, because during the time, North Carolina still had its tax incentives. So there was just movies being shot everywhere. And every time I turned the corner, there was a movie being shot here or a TV pilot being shot here. And during the time when we had Iron Man come to town, and it was just a really vibrant scene. And I was like, well, I want to stay here in Wilmington. It's my home. I've traveled a little bit in my life, and I really didn't want to move to a major metropolitan city. So I decided to join the film program. And when I came into the program, it was a little funny because after Duke had talked to us, who was the main instructor here at Cape Fear, he told us the reality of it. A lot of people think that it's so easy to do film. They look at a television show, or they look at television or a movie, and it's like, man, I think I can do that. And it does take a technique. It takes a lot of dedication, and it's something that I always tell people: if you really don't want to do this and it's not in your heart, you might want to think about it. It's a very, what word am I looking for? Die hard. You got to have strong skin, to make it in film.
Did your parents support this? Like, were they behind you 100%? And they said, yeah, this is what you should do?
Yeah. I mean, my parents, when I had first graduated, I left Wilmington after my 10th grade year at Laney. So when I graduated from high school, I took a year off.
Oh, okay.
And my parents, they were, of course, upset because, they say, a year can turn into 2 years, can turn into 4 years, and then you end up not even going to college. Everybody wanted to be their own bosses. It was all of these ideas coming out. It was, like I say, the early 90s. The internet didn't really pop off like that. It was only for like nerds. I was thinking like 10 years from now, there's going to be nerds on computers, and nobody knew about social media and the internet itself. So it was in the early stage. So people were more concerned about getting out there, hustling, really making their own, making a name for yourself, coming from something to nothing. And that's was my idea when I graduated. And that's what I did with music, because with music, there ain't no guarantee. You can be a successful artist, you can be a starving artist, or you can blow up, make a whole bunch of money, and then lose all that money and be broke.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So what is a common issue that you see every time you go to a movie? You're like, this always occurs. And how do you think you could stop that issue from happening?
You mean like if I'm going as a paying?
Yeah, if you're getting paid to be a sound mixer, what's an issue that would commonly come up and you're like, this again? How do you think you can combat that?
I think once I got into doing film and the sound department in general, it's just the respect that the sound department get. We're like stepchildren. It's one of the smallest departments in film. Normally it's a 2-man or 3-man crew, and we're not really connected with the rest of the set because we don't have walkie-talkies. We don't keep up with what Grip is doing. We don't keep up with what hair and makeup and the other departments. Only if it deals with us. I will say that wardrobe is pretty much the tightest department with sound because we have to mic the talent, so we need to know what they're wearing. We need to know if, hey, can we put a little hole in this shirt so we can hide the microphone. But really getting back to what you were saying, it's just the fact that, sound is sound. I always say this. They don't say lights, camera, action, sound. It's just lights, camera, action.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you have any milestones in mind?
Personally, for me, normally my mind switches up like every 2 years. But as far as long term, I'm really thinking about getting into post-production sound. I've had my time with set location. It's fun, but it's, like I say, strenuous work. I really believe that the saying sometimes, no country for old men, film. And I don't miss working 12 to 14-hour days. And if so, I'd rather do it in a controlled environment. And I just think set location sound is just a progression to do post-production sound. Mm-hmm. And being a DJ and a producer and working in studios and working with Pro Tools and other software and just being able to create, like I said, once again, it comes natural to me. And that's what I gravitate towards. If I can make money or make a living and it comes natural to me, I try to take advantage of that. So I think doing Foley and post-production sound is where I would like to try to be in the next 5 years. Or maybe staying in the education system. Like just far as being a instructor and a tutor. That's still new to me. Mm-hmm. I never in a million years thought that I would be an instructor, but it seems to be working out. So I can't complain. But yeah, I'll say in 5 years I hope to be working in post sound.
Nice. What do you think the next big thing in film is? As far as camera, audio, different ways of acting, like there's method acting, think anything could top that to become a better actor or actress?
That's a good question. It's a hard question too, because with technology, things change so quick, especially, with camera, with sound gear, with gear in general. So to me, I think of the industry as a whole. And one thing that I think in the next 10 years that's going to happen is there's just going to be more people doing independent work. I think it's going to happen the same thing that music went through, that hip-hop went through, where artists got tired of going to labels and waiting for labels to give them deals and having to worry about getting a record contract. We have YouTube now. Mm-hmm. You got people who do crappy YouTube videos, but the content is pretty good. They just don't have the money or the means. And to me, it's always been about the content. So you have Netflix doing original programming. You have Hulu doing original programming. You have TNT doing original programming. You have, my uncle in his pickup truck doing original programming. So I think the big thing is the independence that film can bring you now and the technology that's out there for me and you, the average guy, as they would call us, to get out there and make a name for ourselves and actually be able to make some money. So for me in the next 10 years, I just see the whole industry is in itself being independent. I see people not running to Hollywood, like way back in my days, 80s, 70s, 90s, whatever. If you wanted to make it in Hollywood or you wanted to be an actor, you had to go to LA. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to be a successful country artist, hey, I got to go to Nashville. Same thing with music. Oh, I want to be a hip hop artist. I gotta make it in New York or LA. And I just think with the internet and the way the world is combined, that you don't have to go through certain gatekeepers to get where you want to be. Like, they say Justin Bieber, he was found on YouTube,
Yeah.
So I just think that the possibilities of the average guy being on the same playing field as as Spike Lee or George Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
you won't have to go through the pitfalls I don't even want to say go through the pitfalls, because everybody got to go through some type of struggle. But it's just with that instant notoriety, or instantly I can put my stuff out there for the world.
Yeah.
Before, you couldn't do that.
What is your favorite type of genre of a movie? Like, are you a horror guy? Are you a comedy fan?
I'm definitely science fiction.
Really?
Yes.
So what's your favorite science fiction movie?
Oh, Star Wars.
You got a certain episode in mind, or
I'm
just
old
in
school.
general?
I guess if I would say my favorite Star Wars movie would be Empire Strikes Back.
Solid.
Changed my life.
Why is that? What
Because first off, when Darth Vader told Luke that he was his father, it was like, what just happened? There's no way that, the worst person on the movie can be the good guy's father, I mean, I was like maybe 8 or 9 when I saw that movie, so it literally changed my life, so.
That's great, yeah. Are you into the whole horror aspect, or you say, I don't do scary movies?
Never really was into it. And when I was, I guess if I have to say a genre of horror, it would be like the slashers.
Okay.
Like the Jasons, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, stuff like that. I was always into, because those were the big movies when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, movies don't scare you no more. The last movie that scared me as an adult was The Ring, and I forgot when that came out.
What's The Ring? I don't think I remember that one.
You got
Girl
it?
comes out on TV.
Yeah, the girl
Oh!
on television.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen it, but I know of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Excuse me.
Did you ever see A Quiet Place?
You know what? I've been waiting. Like, my girlfriend went to the movies to go see that, and I was just like, I'm not paying to go see. I'll wait for it to come out on pay-per-view. But I heard it was good.
I thought you would see it because as you like sound. That whole movie is sound. Like, I think sound is a character, at least in it.
Yes.
Like, the fulling in it is, in my opinion, I think it's great.
Well, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it tonight.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice, man. I think that's it.
Yes.
Slim, thank you so much for joining us.
No
and thank you for
problem.
being patient. I really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it.
Yes.
And thanks again.
All right.
Give us a clap. I got you.